Visual Studio Code is free and it's quite easy to use. It is my favorite of the completely free code editors. It is used for doing web development, Python, C Sharp. It is one of the most popular code development environments out there. It also has an interesting feature that I will get to later in this class where they have something called Copilot, which is AI that helps you to code faster. And we'll get into that in about halfway through the course. That one does cost money. I'll demo it. You won't need to use it. You will see, depending on your browser, um, depending on where you're coming from, it'll be able to tell if you're coming from Windows operating system, Mac operating system, Linux operating system. There is also a Visual Studio for the web, which would work on Chromebooks. I don't tend to support that because it's much better when you're a developer to have a full computer. If you are using a Chromebook, use Visual Studio Code for the web. I have not used it. I do not particularly support it, but if you are going to use this, let me know and I'll see about borrowing a Chromebook so I can test it. And so far, nobody's asked for it, but it does exist. I'm going to download for Windows, and I do already have it installed, so I'm going to reinstall it. And I'm going to drop it to my desktop. I'm going to watch the progress here. And the process is similar but not identical for a Mac. You'll download it, and you should know how to follow the directions, download your applications, put them in. So I'm going to show my download. I'm going to launch it. It's going to tell me that it recommends uninstalling before installing. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because, you know, I live dangerously like that. And I'm going to accept the agreement. And I'm going to, I don't usually create a desktop icon. I do like adding those to the options. And then I'm going to hit install. And then we're going to launch Visual Studio Code. Now, Visual Studio Code is something you probably played with before. As long as you've taken web fundamentals here, we use it regularly. I'm going to open up I'm going to close this. I actually want to do file, open folder. And if you don't have a JavaScript folder, you want to create one. We'll do all of the work. And this is my older version of the class. I'm actually in the process of rewriting to update this, but I can go into any one of these and we'll be able to see how the code looks in here. So this is the index page of what I've used. I have my scripts and I have several extensions installed. So let's look at my installed instead. We'll ignore that. CodeGBT, we're going to ignore that for right now. A lot of these things are stuff that I just play with. I do recommend that you get open in default browser. We also want open in browser. That lets you choose which browser to open from. I like prettier. Okay, so I made a mistake and I had to go back and start over. This is the prettier that I want to install, prettier code formatter. And then I can go and test that. And if I put in a space or something here and hit Control S to save, it doesn't do anything because I haven't set it up yet. So I'm going to choose Format Document, or actually Format Document With. and I want prettier code formatter. And that fixed it. So I accidentally installed this one. This is the one that I want, and it wants me to reload. So I'm going to close and reopen Visual Studio Code. Format document, configure, and use prettier. And that will make it so if you save, it formats, copy and paste, it formats. So that's how you want to set up prettier. And those are the plugins that, or the extensions that you're going to need to use for this class.